Hey everyone, this is Dave here with another look at Grand Theft Auto 4 running on Xbox One via backwards compatibility. Today we're taking a look at the episodes from Liberty City, which contains both The Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony. With regards to the base Grand Theft Auto 4 game, we found that while frame rates were visibly higher than when running on Xbox 360, the experience didn't feel as smooth. In fact, there was more stutter and more variances in terms of the controller response, meaning that the game just didn't feel as good to play. The issue here was one of consistency, where frames weren't output in the same manner as on the 360. Sometimes these were being displayed faster, sometimes slower, and this ultimately meant that the core gameplay experience just felt more uneven. Looking at The Lost and Damned, frame rates are visibly improved. Yes, the metrics are higher, but this doesn't translate into a smoother experience. If you pay attention to the frame time graph, you'll see what I mean. When running on 360, frame times tend to alternate between 33 and 50 milliseconds. Whereas on Xbox One, frame times range from 16, 33 to 50 milliseconds and beyond. Essentially, consistency is a lot worse, and this produces a lot more stutter on screen. In that respect, it's no different from the experience we got with base GTA 4. At points the game runs at a similar level to the original 360 game, whereas other times it looks and feels visibly worse. Moving on to the Ballad of Gay Tony, and while frame delivery is still very uneven, the experience doesn't always feel quite as compromised as in the original GTA 4 game or The Lost and Damned. It's worth noting that this particular game actually sees more variances in frame times on the 360 than the base GTA 4 game and Lost and Damned. So in that respect, there is a little more judder to contend with. On Xbox One, we find that some scenes play out very similarly, but on the whole, frame delivery is still more uneven than on the 360. Essentially, there are more scenes that exhibit greater issues when playing on Xbox One, just like we saw in GTA 4 and Lost and Damned. The experience isn't always as compromised as on those two titles, but it's fair to say that there is more consistency when playing on the 360, up to a point anyway. I think there's probably fewer differences with the Ballad of Gay Tony compared to the other two titles, but it's still clear that the experience isn't quite as smooth as it should be when running on Xbox One, and frame delivery could definitely be improved across all versions of Grand Theft Auto 4 running on the console. It's a shame that Rockstar didn't originally opt for a 30 FPS cap back on the 360 versions, as this would have almost certainly led to a much better gameplay experience all round. After all, it is basically a 30 FPS title with metrics hovering around that level. I actually think it would be interesting to see Microsoft allow for an optional 30 FPS cap with 360 titles running on Xbox One. That might be a little too difficult to do, but I think it may be an avenue worth exploring by Microsoft in the future, even if it is just as a test feature. But for now, the experience as it is, I would say, is better on Xbox 360. So there we go, GTA 4 tested on Xbox One. I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and if you did, don't forget to like or subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Maybe witnessing that robbery made me paranoid, and maybe it's just hanging